This is everything I use for my podcast: my wired headphones, laptop, microphone, stand for my phone, and a stand for the microphones, and then wires and adapters. We're going to go through each of these, why I chose it. This has been my podcast setup for about 3 years now. There's been some tweaks, but very small. So let's talk about each one. Let's start with the Samsung Q2U microphone. This was recommended to me, and it's the only microphone I've ever used for the podcast. It's nice because it is a USB plug-in. So I plug into the back, and then this just plugs into my adapter. I need the adapter because my laptop only has USB-C ports. So this gives me options for SD cards if I was going to show pictures. It's also got an HDMI port to put it up on a TV, but then it also gives me 3 of the regular USB, and then that's what I plug my microphone into, and then this goes into the laptop. Next, we'll talk about the stand. So I use my phone as my camera, which I'm using right now, but I use the clamp here. This is the Joby. It has bendable arms, which is nice because if I leave it fully extended like this, it's too tall. So I usually bend down about there, and then that peaks just over my laptop, and that's the right angle that I want for my phone to be at. Also, we've got over-the-ear headphones. Come in different colors, but I went with classic black. They're adjustable by quite a bit. They're pretty comfortable, soft on the ears and soft up top. Super long cords. For me, I don't really need this cord to be this long, but it works because I usually have my laptop set over here, and then I'm back a ways from it. So I usually only use like half of this cord, but I could have more if I needed it. For a laptop, this is just the MacBook Pro. Like I said, it's got the USB-C ports here, and then it has the regular headphone jack. So that's what is on my headphones. That plugs in there, and that's pretty easy. This also comes with a bigger, I don't know what that one's called. I never use it. But if you're more of a DJ, maybe you know what that's called. And then last up is the microphone stand. So this attaches. I can clamp it down right here, spin this just like a vise. It gets tighter, ports in right there, comes out. And then this is adjustable. You can turn your mic. You can make it longer, up and down. I can show you that once I show you the whole podcast setup. And then for the charger, this is kind of your standard laptop charger. And then the cord is a little different. I got the more fabric feel to it. When you bend it, it doesn't break through because I've had other wires do that. This one is a bit more durable, a lot more forgiving in all of the bendings. I just wind it up and put it in my backpack and it's on the go. So I'm a little more rough with it. So this is a nice, more durable cord to go with. Similarly, I plug my phone into my laptop so that I have better connection. So then this is also the same fabric feel. So again, I don't want the cords that are going to be popping out, tearing because of the rubber. So for me, I like this feel of a cord more so than the other. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you the full setup. Now that we've got the camera turned around, this is what my podcast setup usually looks like. You can sometimes have a green screen back here. I don't really like the green screen. It looks distorted with the headphones and everything, so I just go all natural. Not the most amazing background, but I usually put up pictures and things of what we're talking about anyway. Now, you're hearing me now through the Samsung Q2U microphone. Before, you were hearing me through this lav mic. So this is magnet. I just had it magnet clipped to my shirt. And then this is the charging case. So I put it back in there. Now it's charging. And then I have the receiver. This plugs into a USB-C. But if you don't have USB-C, it also comes with a lightning plug. There are 2 mics in there. So I've done interviews before where I'll have one mic and the person I'm interviewing will have a mic. That way there's better audio. The case that you carry them around in charges the mics, and then you just charge the case with a regular USB-C. Same thing I would use to charge my phone. Those cords I was showing you earlier, those would work with this. That'll also come with a couple of dead cats, so in case you're doing outside where there's wind, that'll help take out the wind sound. And then it also comes with clips as well. So if you didn't want to magnet it to yourself, you could also clip it to yourself. But that was what I was using before. Now, Samsung Q2U microphone, a corded mic because I want the audio to pick up as soon as I'm saying it. Sometimes with Bluetooth, that will have a slight delay. I don't want to deal with the delay in editing. I'd rather it be right when I'm saying it, it's picking it up and putting it into the video. The arm here that I've got it on, this is my second arm. The first arm I had gotten was a different brand. It broke almost in the first month of me having it. This one has lasted me for over 3 years now. It's got a few different movement points, so I can go forward and back. I can lift it up, and I can lift it down. So depending on where you have this anchored at, you may need to adjust it, and this has several adjustment points. It's all personal preference. The mic will come with some different accessories like pop filters and different things depending on what you need. You can use that. I just have, I don't know if this is technically called the dead cat, but it's the squishy part on top of the microphone, but you could pull that off if you wanted to. The mic is just one you've seen at most gymnasiums, but it works really well for the podcast we do. Along with a corded mic, I use the corded headphone as well. Same thing, I don't want delay, and with both of these being plugged in all the time, I'm never going to have to worry about charging them. They're always going to have power. I never have to worry about them dying, and then I switch mics or can't hear my guest. So these are both corded for those reasons. Makes it a little easier when I'm editing too. The mic is plugged into that adapter I showed you with the USB. I've got the power cords, got one going to power the laptop, and then I've got the other plugged into my phone, which is recording the video right now. I like to have that plugged in all the time because, one, mainly for connectivity. Sometimes when I don't have it plugged in, like I said with Bluetooth, it'll glitch and then my video will get a little choppy, or I might freeze and then jump back in. I'd rather plug in and just have smooth video the whole way through. I don't ever have to worry about the phone dying because I have it plugged in. It's always getting power and it's always charging. I'm using the Joby tripod because it has the bendable legs, so it fits on the small desk that I have here with the laptop. Before, when I was recording the other view, I was using this tripod from Ulizy. So this telescopes out probably about 5-ish feet. Comes in pretty easy. So I was using it just as like a monopod, but you can unscrew here and then it becomes a tripod. Interesting thing about this tripod is it has an extra little leg that you can pull out. So if I wanted to do videos or things of action figures or things on the table, I can clip this to the table and then it'll lean, and then I don't have to worry about getting the legs in the frame or anything like that. And it can adjust that lean as well. Comes with a remote that you can take off of the leg. So if you wanted to start recording when you were farther away from the tripod, that's possible. The mount here is magnetic. So if you have a MagSafe type phone, you can hook it here and it's super strong magnet. I'm never worried about it falling off of there. But if you want it to be more secure or you don't have MagSafe, you can flip it up and it's got the pinch grip, kind of like what I have on the Joby right now. And this will rotate. So if you want to do vertical videos or horizontal, pretty easy. And then it folds down just that small, fits in a small backpack. So this is my take on the go kind of tripod. The other one fits a little bit better on this desk though. So that is everything I use for the podcast setup. Everything can be found on Amazon. I'll put the affiliate links down in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I hope this was helpful.